Hey YouTube, here to talk Oscars. But before I jump into that, I must first say, sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a while. Last one was my Star Wars review. Um, I just feel like nothing really interesting has happened that has made me really want to talk about something on the internet. And in terms of other movies, the last two movies I saw were Hail Caesar and Deadpool. Hail Caesar I thought was amazing, but I just and there is a lot of talk about that. I could probably talk for 10, 15 minutes about that, but it just I feel like there's not enough draw of an audience to watch that. And as far as Deadpool, um, I could also talk about that. I just felt like it's so meta and it doesn't really connect to the universe quite yet. Um, and I don't know. I might do that one still. But to jump into Oscars, this year I feel like it's one of the weakest years, honestly. There this year or last year, 2015, there's not one movie where I'm like, wow, that's a historical movie, other than maybe Star Wars. But you know how I feel about that movie. It's not revolutionary. It's just the special effects are great. Um, I mean, even Jurassic World, which I love, which was my number one or two last year. Just kind of looking back, it's kind of a weak movie. There's no real perfect movies that I would say like, yeah, it absolutely wins Best Picture. I really feel like every year it's hard to pick like, wow, they're all so great. Um, but they're off years. Like the year Crash one was absolutely an off year. But to talk about the movies here, I've honestly only seen three of the 8 movies nominated for Best Picture. I've seen Mad Max Fury Road, I've seen Bridge of Spies, and I've seen The Martian. Um, the only other one I really want to see is The Revenant, because Leonardo DiCaprio's performance keep hearing is epic, and the cinematography looks amazing. So I'll just talk about which one I think is going to win Best Picture. Um, I don't think it's going to be Fury Road. Fury Road, although amazing, cinematically enticing, really entertaining to watch. I just felt like the plot's pretty flat, and normally writing is very important for people when deciding Best Picture. Um, in terms of Bridge of Spies, I mean, it was an entertaining picture, but I just feel like um, that's only getting the nomination because Spielberg. In terms of The Martian, I think it's completely ridiculous that won Best Comedy in the Golden Globes. But I do think of all the nominations, The Martian has a pretty good shot, especially considering Ridley Scott and Ridley Scott's consistency in victory. I mean, if Bridge of Spies, Bridge of Spies was good, but it wasn't Best Picture good. And I don't think even Spielberg has enough prowess to get that over. In terms of the possibility of any of the other ones winning, I think The Revenant actually has a shot just because how gritty it is and the the cinematics of it, and that's also apparently an adapted screenplay. So I don't know, a toss up, honestly. So my prediction is either The Martian or The Revenant. I think I'm just looking at the list now as we speak. The Big Short, meh. Uh, Brooklyn, how did that get nominated? A Room and Spotlight. But in terms of the other ones, it's not for me to judge because I haven't seen them. But you know, that's just my feeling of the whole thing. So skipping around, animated, Inside Out. That's the layup. If you're ever gambling in the Oscars, The safest bet to ever make. Put a lot of money down on Pixar. I think they've only lost once. And that's when it was like Cars 2 versus like How to Train Your Dragon or something. Cinematography, I think The Revenant's going to win. Some people think Mad Max Fury Road, but I really think The Revenant's going to win that. Wow, I just saw this. Directing. Ridley Scott is not nominated for Best Director, yet he won Best Director at the Golden Globes. That's odd. So who's going to win Best Directing? Probably Revenant. Editing. Surprisingly, Star Wars: The Force Awakens is nominated for editing. I disagree with that choice. Although the special effects were amazing, there's a lot of jump cuts. I think Revenant might take that one too. Looking through the list here. Best original score, another layup. Star Wars: Force Awakens. John Williams score. Come on. Best sound editing, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Won't win film editing, but it will win sound editing. Best visual effects, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. It's gonna be. Oh, actually, Mad Max Fury Road might win that one. Actually, surprisingly, Ex Machina is winning. I mean, he is nominated. If that wins, well, that's a psychic moment on my part. Okay, so ones I really want to talk about oh, okay, well, while my phone freaks out and makes me look like an idiot on this video, side note, talk about Spike Lee and Will Smith's wife protest of the Oscars for not nominating enough people of color. If you don't know about how the Oscars work, it is not an elected board of people. It is people who pay money to do it. It's people who were in the industry, who pay money to be part of it. It's basically like a paid membership club. It's not really like an elected board of officials by government oversight or something. So I don't know why people are offended by certain races of people not being nominated. This might be my white privilege speaking, but it's literally rich white people. Not all of them are white. A lot of them are of different ethnic variety. But my point being, it's literally rich people paying to decide who wins what. And unfortunately, Straight Outta Compton isn't high on their movie list last year. Although I do think, personally, for my opinion on African Americans, I do think Michael B. Jordan should have been nominated for Best Actor. That's a crime, especially considering Sylvester Stallone is nominated for Best Supporting Actor. I know Stallone's immensely talented, but Michael B. Jordan had a great performance in Apollo, or was it Creed? I forget the name of the movie. I think it's Apollo. Maybe it's Creed. So adapted screenplay is one I'm always interested in. An original screenplay, just to get these out of the way. The Martian is an adapted screenplay. I think that's going to win. It's fun fact is actually the guy who wrote it's from my hometown, Milpitas, California. If you don't know about Milpitas, California, it is a small town of 90,000 people. When I was growing up 20 years ago, the population was more like 40,000 people. But it's in the middle of Silicon Valley, so it's considered a small town by Silicon Valley standards. Yeah, so he's from here, so that's pretty cool. Best original screenplay, I think Ex Machina is going to win, just because that's such an interesting story. And here's two interesting things. For some reason, Bridge of Spies and Straight Outta Compton are original screenplays. Both are closely based to real life events. Bridge of Spies really happened. Gary Powers really got shot down in the Soviet Union, and they really had to do a trade to get Gary Powers back. And Straight Outta Compton, heavily based off of, shoot, I'm sorry I blanked on the name of the band and the musicians they're based on, but heavily based off of them. Okay, so 2 more categories I'll talk about. Best Actor in Supporting Role. Tom Hardy in The Revenant, I think, is going to win. Either that or Christian Bale in The Big Short. I'd be surprised if it's anyone else. If it is anyone else, it could be Stallone in Creed. There it is, the name, Creed. It's not Apollo, it's Creed. And then the one everyone is really talking about is Best Actor in a Leading Role. And why is that? Well, let's look at the lineup. Cranston for Trumbo, Damon for The Martian, Fassbender for Steve Jobs, Eddie Redmayne for The Danish Girl, and Leonardo DiCaprio for The Revenant. Here's why I'm really on board with this. A lot of the buzz is it's DiCaprio's year. I think it is. If Eddie Redmayne didn't win for Stephen Hawking movie last year, Redmayne would have won for Danish Girl, but mainly because the transgender talk is really loud right now, especially with Caitlyn Jenner. But I think it's DiCaprio's year. I really do. Really committed himself to that role. I mean, cut open a dead horse and slept in it. That's intense. So yeah, that is what I'm actually most interested in about the Oscars this year. Is the question: is it DiCaprio's year? And now the question is louder than ever, and I think we're gonna find out this Sunday. Anyways, if you're betting on the Oscars this year, make sure to make your safe bets. Put big money on safe bets and small change on hard, risky bets. I'll say it again. Big money on safe bets, small money on hard bets, meaning close calls. Just like every year, DiCaprio is a close call. But now, more than ever, the odds are in his favor. Anyways, keep it locked right here on YouTube. I will see you guys for my next video.